Alright, so welcome back to another episode, and today we are going to go over one box for your winter fishing. This is something that I've seen on YouTube. I've seen other people doing it, and I decided that I wanted to make a video of my own about this because for winter fishing, but also other times of the year. I remember years ago I used to take like a tackle box. This is a 3650 by Plano with the double latches. I used to take a box like this, or a 3600, or even bigger, a 3700, you name it, and I used to fill it with baits just to take down to the lake, whether I was fishing from a boat, the bank, river, you name it. And I used to do that. That was before I really carried a backpack or a tackle bag. And then, I kind of saw everyone was doing videos like these, so I said, you know what, I'm going to make one as well. I'm here in Michigan, and I'm going to tell you some of the baits that I would throw. And actually, quite a few of these baits, not all of them, but quite a few of these have caught me fish in the late fall and the winter. Now, I know there isn't snow on the ground. It's not technically winter yet. It still is fall. But these are the baits that I would be throwing. Now, you're going to see a lot of hard baits, okay? You're going to see some colors that are just like your chrome or a flash color, and kind of green pumpkin, and maybe a little bit of baitfish, but that's it. I'm going to kind of keep it simple. I like to stick to natural colors. Okay, you can use whatever you want. I like hot colors. I like chartreuse. I like fluorescent, all that stuff. But for this time of the year right now, everything in the box is what I'm going to be using. And we are going to start off with my first choice. Well, my first choice from this box, not my first choice right now on the water. And that is going to be a jerkbait, okay? It's going to be fun. Alright, so first up, we're going to go to the jerkbait section of the box. And this right here is a Megabass Vision 110 Plus one, okay? This is the M Shad color, and you'll see if you look at the bait that it is completely torn up, but that's really beside the point for this video. So in the winter, when it's cold, when the water is in the 30s and 40s, or when the ice just comes off the lake, I am going to pick up a jerkbait. Like I said, this is a Megabass Vision 110 Plus one. Okay, they are expensive, but I do like them. This bait is going to go, I think, 5 to 10 feet. You can get a regular 110, which is right here, or a +2, which will go 10 to 12 feet, which I do plan on using next year. But why do I throw a jerkbait in the winter? Why do I like it when it's cold? Well, that's because I know during other times of the year when it's cold, and even when it's warm, if you throw a jerkbait, a fish is gonna react to it, okay? Whether it's a largemouth bass or even more a smallmouth bass, when they see that action, when they see that darting, that hunting action in front of their face, they have no choice but to attack it. Now, what I'm gonna do when it's cold outside is I'm actually gonna pause the bait more than I would in the spring or the summer. I'm still going to work the bait with that action like I do on a spinning rod with 8-pound test, like I tell you guys about, but I am going to take longer pauses, because on the pause, this is suspending. So if you stop it, that fish will be looking at it. As soon as you move it, kaboom, they'll annihilate it. Hard baits, jerk baits, and crankbaits are definitely a great choice for your winter fishing. And that leads me to this bait right here, and this is a Strike King Pro Model Series 4 crankbait. This is going to go 5 to 9 feet, and you will notice that this is the, the Sexy Sunfish color. This bait right here is a bait that I do like to throw in the winter if I'm going to be using a crankbait. Now, a jerkbait and a crankbait are great choices. They wouldn't be my automatic first choice, okay? And neither would a lipless crankbait that we're going to talk about. They are great choices, but not my first choice. My first choices would actually be a blade bait or a Ned rig, okay? I actually just picked up a couple Johnson Thin Fisher blade baits to show you guys. It does have a little swivel connection up top, but you do see the 3 slots in the blade bait, okay? Wherever you tie the line to, it's going to change the way the bait moves, okay? Now, this is the chrome and blue, and another one you do have is the chrome and black, kind of like a minnow or a shad. I do prefer this color, not this cover, over this one. And another thing in this video is I do want to give you guys some different choices and not just talk about one bait. So you're going to see the blade bait, the crankbait's another good one. You want to know another good one that you can cast on the bottom? And you can do what is called a fluttering action. That's a spoon, okay? This is a 1/4 ounce little Cleo. I don't really fish these a whole lot on my channel. I have experimented with them a little bit years ago, but there is one thing that I will do with this bait, and I will cast it out there and I'll let it flutter all the way to the bottom, okay? Because it will do that. Or if you just reel it, it'll just spin as it's coming through the water, is I'll let it hit the bottom, and I'll almost kind of jerk it, and it'll flutter. They can't stand that. It's going to drive them nuts. But a spoon, a little Cleo, that is a choice. Now, moving back to the hard baits, you're going to go to the Strike King Red Eye Shad, okay? And in videos, I do tell you guys that sometimes I like to change the hooks out. This one does not have the stock hooks, okay? This little color that I can't even remember the name of, Strike King Red Eye Shad. This has caught quite a few fish, man. This is a good bait. A hard bait, okay, like a blade bait, a lipless crankbait, a jerk bait, a crankbait. Now, I know some of you guys are probably going to ask, why do I use them in the winter? Why do I use them when the water's, you know, 40 degrees, 45 degrees? Well, that's because that tight wobble, okay? That tight wobble is going to cause them to react. They will hit a moving bait when it's cold. Now, if you cannot get a bite or a reaction out of a moving bait, you might need to go to a plastic. And you guys know that one of my all-time favorite bottom baits is a Ned rig. This right here is a finesse TRD, all right? And I do like to rig my baits perfectly straight. This is a 1/6 ounce jig head. Okay, and I do have some baits in here that have a 1/10 ounce jig head, like this little TRD Craws in the mud bug color. You'll see that it kind of looks like brownish green pumpkin, but it has the copper flake on the bottom. That's essential, basically, okay? Copper flake is something that I want for smallmouth bass and largemouth bass, and so is green pumpkin. So again, you have your 1/10 ounce, your 1/6 ounce. I do like the 1/6 ounce personally. Then you do also have something I picked up that I'm going to be throwing when I want something scented, is a Rage Ned Bug. Okay, see that? That is only 1/10 ounce. And another bottom bait that I'm going to go over is a little 1/4 ounce finesse jig. Now, a finesse jig I will throw in the spring, but you can still catch fish with these in the late fall and winter. Now, we're going to go over some of these things a little bit more, but we're also going to go over some of the plastics that I have. So, when it's cold out and it's tough to find fish, I'm going to fish not all of these, but most of these baits with 8-pound test and a spinning rod, okay? So, like I said, that Ned rig, that is going to be 8-pound test and a spinning rod. The jerk bait, the Cleo and the blade bait, they're all going to be 8-pound test with a spinning rod. Now, there are some things that I would prefer casting with, okay? Now, and those things are going to be the crankbait and the jig, just because I don't like to throw those on spinning tackle, and I feel like I get a better action out of those with a casting rod. Now, sure, you can fish any of these baits on a spinning rod, but you guys that follow my channel do know that I like to be technique specific with all of my baits. So for those of you that are into the plastics more and that like to fish slow, you know that it's going to be slow. You have to find your fish. You want to see something that they're going to bite. That is why I brought the Ned rigs into this box for the winter fishing video. So your finesse TRD and the green pumpkin, that is always a good choice. And when that bait stands up, you have to remember that when the bait stands up, they're gonna see, not you, they're gonna see the texture and the design on that bait. They're gonna see that when it's standing up and when it's dragging, and it is absolutely gonna drive them nuts. Green pumpkin is a color that I don't want to say I always throw, but I throw more times than not, okay? And I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I do want to give you guys more of just choices and things you can do. Now, that mud bug color for the TRD Craws, it's a little bit smaller than the finesse TRD, all right? And about that copper flake that I told you about, look at that. That looks so good. That's fish candy, man. That's fish food, all right? Now, a bait doesn't have to be scented or anything like that, and I know some people prefer to not have scent on their bait, okay? But I did pick up the Rage Ned Bug because I know there's going to be a time in the summer or even in the spring when I can't get them to bite a Texas rig or a jig, but if I throw a Rage Ned Bug, I think they're going to hit that, and I think it's going to improve my chances. And this right here is a watermelon red, all right? That is a really good color. Watermelon red, green pumpkin, mud bug, your smoky shad colors. These are all natural forage imitators, okay? And I would use all of these baits on inland lakes and the Great Lakes. So, just to go over what we got, you do have the Rage Ned Bug, the TRD Craws, which I did not put back in the package very nicely, but oh well, finesse TRD. And again, just to cover it, the baits, you do have the Vision 110 Up top, you have the 110 plus one, the little Cleo quarter ounce Strike King Red Eye Shad, 2 blade baits by Johnson, the Thin Fisher. You do have the Strike King Pro Model Series 4. And I forgot to show you guys the 1/10 ounce Ned Rig jig head is right there. Okay. I don't know why I forgot to do that, as I'm getting hooks stuck all over my hand. You do have, like I said, you have the 1/6 and the 1/10 ounce. You can see the bigger one is the 1/6 ounce. You have the finesse jig and the Ned Rig baits. Do me a favor and leave me a comment below. What are your favorite lures for winter fishing? What are your favorite lures for cold water fishing? I know all these baits are going to catch fish in the winter, and I know that up here in Michigan, when there's not ice on the lakes, I'm still going to be fishing. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to do any ice fishing this year. Just my focus is going to be open water bass fishing and fishing tackle. That's what my channel is. And you know what I'm missing out of this box? I'm actually missing a hair jig. But do me a favor, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of this box. And also, what is your favorite bait? Again, I know I already said that, but I wanted to cover that again. What is your favorite bait for winter fishing? I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.